Yeah, you forgot one there. Race control as well. So I've got lots of names. Thanks, Doug. There's a few cars out there. I think 20 of them have set a lap time. So we're in for a good little race tonight. Where's the track?
I reckon I was doing a lot of talking without any volume just there.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Well, Wayne's done that many a time, mate. So you're in good company.
So I'll just quickly go back through. Welcome to All Ports Gaming, SuperCars NZ Round 8 GT3s. This is Doug, and I'm joined here with Sean McNamara, which you don't need to talk because they've already heard you talk.
Oh, they would have too. I would have been talking to myself.
Just filling in the gaps, yeah. You would have been it would have been silent, and then you just randomly started talking.
Who's this weirdo? Oh wait. All right. So we've got 20 out there that's in a lap time. That's good.
Yeah, and if I click down on 20, you'll see that there's actually 21.
21. That's good.
21 positions.
Yeah.
As I've just clicked on Mark Price there, they said they call him the 007. This one's fishing related. It is 0 bites, 0 fish for a grand total of 7 hours. The 007. Mark Price will check in and have a look with him later on. Qualifying will just be rounding up. It looks like Shane White might be the only one left out on track to see if he can better his time as he comes up towards the finish line. And he did better it, and he got very close to P3 there, only 0.075 of a second away from taking pole. So, yeah, looking like it's going to be an interesting night tonight. Connor Nixon there, P1, with Taylor Mitchell in 2, and Blake Grenhall, our current championship points leader, sitting there in 3rd, with P2 of Shane White sitting there in 4th. Looking like it's going to be quite an interesting race. We're here at Silverstone at the GP circuit, and as you can see from us flying around currently in the blimp, all those little white bits are all the track sides, safety barriers and walls of this great circuit. It is foggy, it is the UK, and we'll soon see the guys jumping down onto the grid.
Looking through the names there, I'm not seeing any sort of new names. There's definitely Dane's back from his holiday. He's in. Mr. 420 and 8, so that's a good qualifying time for him.
He's done well. He always turns up and puts on a good show.
Very, very safe driver, doesn't really hit many people, so the opposite of me.
And often walks away with the clean racing bonus as well, which a few others have been contending for, but of course we only give it out to the best person who finishes the highest up the grid order at the end. So that could be anyone from P1 right down to P21 who scores the lowest.
Exactly.
No race control, but...
What on earth was that?
Did you hear it? Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did hear that.
I'm just gonna.
So the folks at home will probably hear that as well.
Hey Ross, do you race in real life?
There
we go.
Down my chat. There we go.
There we go. I've got rid of it.
Got rid of that noise. So you asked about race control, which obviously in the GT3 series we haven't had race control. We have a system where they can post race, send an email in, and we have a look at it.
Indeed. Oh look, it's asking if I want a grid. Should I jump on the back? Full send, turn 1. But, yeah. No, looking forward to tonight.
So grid up. I'm going to find a good camera angle to watch it off on my other screen. And it's a little bit of a rolling start. Half lap, is it, there, Joe?
It should be the shorter version. Yes, I think they've only got a couple of corners to go through. If we have a look off the front of Blake's nose here, yeah, it looks like there's only going to be a couple of sequences of corners before the pace truck rolls in.
Yes.
There's off the front of Connor Nixon, who's running in BMW tonight with RK Simulations Racecraft. That's them.
There you go, they're running off. Someone had a bit of packet loss. I think they had to wait for the packet loss to finish.
So there's Taylor Mitchell there, jump flex entry. And it's going to be hotly contended into turn 1. Do you reckon Blake and Shane will get through turn 1 cleanly?
Yes, because I think Blake will try and be running in 5th gear in a 2nd gear corner trying to save fuel to get to the end on 1 stop. Will he do that this time, or will he just suck it up and do the 2 stops? We won't know. But I think they'll get through there cleanly.
So let's have a look. So they're away. Oh! MRX car wildly out of control. Nick Mitchell. Another car at the back, losing it.
I wonder if he got hit. That's very crazy.
So Bruce Tannock with a dive down the inside of Shane White and causes a half spin. It's chaos here.
Oh no, yes.
Here's P1 and P2 still jiving for each other's position at the moment. Connor Nixon, Taylor Mitchell. Everyone else getting through there, not too bad. As we come round to the back of the course where the other start-finish line is.
Are they coming yet? They're there. Oh, the fog. Oh, they're very close. Blake's just tucked behind, bit of a gap back, isn't it?
Yep.
Right, so obviously I missed. Have you got a replay of the Shane White incident?
I will be able to bring that
later. We can do it later.
No, I've got it sitting here.
I was looking at something else.
Tannock and dived up the inside, and I think Whitey might have just tried to close the door a wee bit, and it ended up in a bit of a door rub, but we'll be able to have another look at that very shortly.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's another car off track. I see Tannock's just catching. The Megan Turbo car. Steve Darren's coming up the order too there, I see this.
And with those two at the front fighting heavily, it's got Blake Grenhall there closing in on the back of these two. Away to a very early quick pace, both setting down 2:03s.
Wow.
Great stuff. Here's Nick on his recovery drive, currently sitting behind Thomas McCall.
See how clean he keeps this.
Oh, Bruce Tannock coming in wildly from off track, so that's another interesting moment for the Megan Turbo entry there.
Yeah, and Nick taking the wide line, so it's not Speedway.
Yeah, and that's Bill just on the outside there in the yellow and grey BMW.
Oh, all right.
There's Bruce Tannock currently chasing down right off Jenkins there just ahead in the green and black skeleton colour delivery there.
Good little battle pack.
Peter Brown and Jonathan Turner exchanging positions. And towards the front we have Dane Northdirth here currently sitting in 5th spot, being chased down by Peter Vanderberg in the Painless Engineering entry. Dane currently sporting the Allports Gaming livery. It's quite a cool looking livery there, and he's got permission from Allports to run that on his car just to help boost the series. So appreciate your commitment to the league and to the group there on that one, Dane.
Yeah,
Welcome back. It's good to see you.
I like his white wheels too, but that's just me.
Personal preference, much?
It is. They're a bit too white. You know, it's like someone that's put that stuff on their teeth to make them really white, and it's outdone the rest of the face. Anyway, back to something more important than what I think in life.
Yep. So this is right off again, just on the back, chasing Bruce Tannock. Bruce just running a wee bit wide. This is quite a complex section of corners through here, isn't it, Sean?
Yes, I'm not the best in the GT3 car, even though I've run 12 hours. But I mean, at the end of the day, you know, it's all about consistency. But these cars tend to get the rear end gets a bit loose if you brake too hard or trail brake too long, like you do in the V8, like that. Perfect timing, wasn't it? And this is probably just because you think the car can hold on and it doesn't want to. And it
Bruce
slows you down a bit. So Bruce is exactly explaining what I was trying to, or showed us what I was trying to explain. So that was probably the best time that's ever happened.
Yeah, it's not super common.
No, and obviously Bruce is really fast in the V8, and I think he's still very fast in a GT3, but he gets caught out quite a bit with the handling of them.
Yeah, look at that fog, how thick that is. That's on pretty low draw of what it can be set to as well. It's only set to 6%, if anyone at home was interested. 6% fog, so that's just how thick that gets here at Silverstone. Going through pockets of it every now and again, just like you would in real life. And from on board,
I hope they don't drive like that. That was terrible.
Wow.
That far back, eh?
That was a shocking camera view, wasn't it?
Is that him? Is that Bruce?
It was. He wasn't sticking around to wait for that one. Anyway.
God! I'm not laughing because I think it's funny. I'm laughing because it's what I do.
It's just you. Anyway, let's have something else to laugh at. Here's Nick Mitchell at the start of the race.
Yeah.
Close.
So he came out of the corner. I'll commentate on this. He came out of the corner, floored it a little bit. I've got it. I don't got it. And, so when we watched it live, I was thinking, did someone tip him? Because how he went off like that. And no, just by himself. So he's done really well to come back from obviously last place.
So yeah, just a bit wide on the AstroTurf and thought he had it, but no. Anyway, here is Mr. Tannock and Shane White's first early issue.
Who else is that around Shane? I'm probably going to call it racing. I need to see it from actually a different line, but I'll probably call it racing at this stage. It's more determined. If he's come from way back. Yeah, a little bit. I don't think. Yeah.
There's only
multiple
one thing
things going on there.
When you've got limited view angle.
Anyway, moving on.
That's to do this.
This will be this one, yeah. I think probably Tannock. He's not that deep. I thought he was a bit deeper than that. Shane not realising he's there too, I think, as well.
Yeah.
That was pretty good of that other car to come flying through there, eh? And that's what, racing, it's a hard game.
Sure is. Rightio, back at the front, Connor Nixon currently leading the race with 0.7 of a second gap over Taylor Mitchell in the Jump Flex entry there, following him.
Yeah, they haven't really split from each other, have they? He's stuck there, old Taylor. Young Taylor.
Yep.
He's got Dr. Plummer on the front of his car. That's Tony Walker. You haven't seen him this season racing with us, but that's his business. So obviously sponsoring young Taylor, who does obviously a bit of karting as well.
Yes.
And I hear he's quite good at it too. His dad was saying, but he might be a little bit biased.
Dads are harsh. I'd say he's probably, if he's saying that, he's probably being quite truthful or underselling it, which probably means he's great.
You're 100% correct, because I'd be the same. Yeah.
So there's that one, and then this is Blake Greenhall still sitting in third spot, and he's just over 8 seconds behind that battle there. So yeah, closest one's happening out on track at the moment is Dan Turner chasing Jared Eccleston ahead of him. Sitting in the draft. It's a good one to be in behind on. Oh, bit of glitching there from Dan. It's a good area to do that draft down through there because it's the longest bit of straight section that you can have. There's Peter Brown and Peter Vanderberg still battling at it. Welcome back to Peter Brown. Haven't seen too much of you this season.
Yeah. I think he gets the hard luck award from a couple of seasons ago. I don't think there's a race where he didn't finish because he got taken out. So
he certainly
takes
did.
a bit of effort to come back.
Down here in 18th spot, we've got Mike Limbrick there on the inside line, or now the inside line again, in the Windstone Transports liveried BMW, as he's having some fun. Sorry, Mark Price there in the Windstone entry with Mike Limbrick sort of chasing him in the Passion Sim Racing car. And just behind him is Thomas McCall trying to recover an early crash, which was actually this one here.
Oh,
yeah, Peter Vanderberg doing what you do.
Bump and run. Oh, look at him. Get out of the way, Shane.
Yeah. It's called reverse, mate.
he just in there trying to pluck it.
Yeah.
Good on him. Well, obviously that wasn't his fault, but anyway.
So I think this was Pricey looping it round at that same point.
Yeah, it's good you got multiple angles of the same incident.
Oh, so Pricey actually getting a send.
That was from right off too, wasn't it?
Yeah,
so
it was.
It just shows you that, you get tangled up in one, you're tangled up in another. So is this early pit stop? Already.
Yep. And then guess what he did? He jumped back to try and do it again.
Oh well. I think he had computer problems. He had packet loss at the start, so I don't know if he made the start line.
Bill,
what's Bill up to?
Bill pushing too hard. Go and light it up. Spin. Well played.
And carries on.
There we go.
Do you have it? So, should we talk a bit about HF Group? Our weekly sponsor.
We can.
Well, I'm looking at. Well, as you're just going through the replays, it's probably a little bit.
Yes.
So, a member of our team, Grant Bistro, has definitely sponsored sponsored us. I was just looking at another email, but definitely sponsored us. It's a maintenance group, isn't it?
It is a property maintenance group. Yep. I'll flick you some details on that, on what they specialise in.
Well, all I'm more interested in is in the side business of the barbecue thing, the Devil's Cup barbecue.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, because I mean, obviously, I'm a bigger man. I like my barbecues.
I'll quickly tick onto a picture of it, but there'll be no audio, so stand by one. So yeah, Devil's Cup barbecue. So so Grant Bristow, he runs the HF group and also has a side interest in American barbecue competition food. So
Competition food. Ooh.
Competition, yeah. So they had competed at an event last year that was actually the national series, and they managed to finish 32nd out of 95 entrants, which is when you're in the top third there, you know it's good.
I know where I'm going for a feed. Should give a call.
Wellington, apparently.
Yeah, it's not far away. I can get there.
Yeah. So if anyone's interested in the lower Hutt area, Hutt Valley area, for work along the lines of hire a hubby, doing painting, ground maintenance and building, Grant Bristow is your man to get in touch with. He also does drone assessment and fire safety work. And if you think it's possibly a larger scope of works that needs to be done, Grant can look after that by bringing in some tradesmen drafted to help out with that. So if you're
do you
in
get
that
hold of
area,
them?
yeah.
Is it hfgroupnz@gmail.com?
That's it, hfgroupnz@gmail.com, or you can messenger him on Facebook Messenger as well, Grant Bristow.
If you want anything to do with the Devil's Cup barbecue nz@gmail.com, if you get something done through there, I'd like to come along with you. I'll be your +1.
Right. Nice indeed. Hey, I just found Steve Darren, and Steve Darren is actually running a livery that I designed.
Yes, so he showed me this today. This is your 12-hour endurance livery, and it's got all the business names on it. So I'm sure we're not going to, if we're getting nice and close to the cars, NZ down the side, that's us. DSA on the back, which is Wayne.
Yep, so there's a wee bit of that. It's got Mike Robinson's electrical on the front, bit of SDI, bit of ESI for
Bill.
For Bill. Yeah, there's a 54 Sim Racing. It's got Pepsi Max, which is for Cole. So yeah.
What I'm thinking is, the fog's not so good when you're trying to advertise something.
Right.
I'm having a laugh at it. Hey, it's like even looking at the Allport's car earlier with Dane, I was like, can't see much. It's a personal joke. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, which I don't think is hilarious is contact. Anti-contact I am.
Hey, I see on the back of Peter Brown's car, he's got
MRX.
MRX.
Yes, he must want to be a safety car when he grows up.
These guys having a good wee battle. So in the pits, we've got Bruce Tannock
and the Megan Turbo,
and Ross Watson. They're the first ones to. Well, actually, they're not the first ones to take a pit stop. Actually, Bill Kilger's done one. Peter Vanderberg has also done one. Now that's actually finally coming up on the data screen.
Yeah, so, and to be honest, if you're pitting now, you're not doing it in one stop, aren't you? You're definitely doing it in two.
No. So
yeah,
that's
what that tells you.
Pit stop lines there. So Bill on lap 5, Peter Vanderberg on 6, Shane White on 7, and Bruce and Ross on 8. So I imagine we're going to see a steamroll of cars coming into pit lane. This is
steamroll of cars, a gaggle of cars.
A gaggle,
a plethora of cars.
One of those.
A vocab going for next time. Doug, I think it's like really good.
Cool.
Try and outdo me.
Try and do what?
Outdo me with your group of
outdo
cars.
You. Right,
sorry.
I thought you were flirting for a minute.
You know how I'm on. It's been a while. Yeah.
So that is Connor Nixon Racecraft. And he's gone by again, so he's just trying to conserve a wee bit of his fuel, I imagine.
So Taylor might have made a few little very minor mistakes to be 5 seconds back. Because he wasn't with them, definitely when the tyres were good for the first
Well,
five or six laps.
if you look at the margin though, so he's only fallen off a little bit in comparison to Blake, who's now preceding them by 12 seconds.
Yeah. Blake's definitely trying to do the fuel game. So the way I work it out...
Everyone's sort of spread. So Dave Northdirth behind him, another 4 seconds behind.
But I work it out, if he can get to the 22.5 minutes before pitting, then that's how I work out if he can make it or not on the fuel strategy.
And that's
it's
what,
obviously a time race. So,
and that's what Blake said as well, was part of his mindset.
The worry about it is, do you actually have an extra lap? Because it's a time race. When does the white flag actually appear? So it depends on when first place crosses the control line, and the white flag is triggered. So, although you could do it at halfway, you still could actually have an extra lap to do, which could screw you over.
Yes, indeed. Mike Limbrick coming into the pit lane now. He's reacted.
Yeah. I must say, and this is my personal opinion, that Merc is effing ugly.
That one there?
Yeah.
Oh. You don't like that livery?
No, the Merc, the car. The car is ugly. I didn't say anything about the livery on the Passion Sim Racing. Mate, you're trying to get me in a fight with like 5 or 6 dudes.
Yeah. Setups for days.
Oh, that was... Whoa, take that back. Now, there's a good-looking car.
It is a good-looking car.
And
that's Connor Nixon.
It's a bit different, but...
Yep.
So
he's reacted.
Yes.
Blake, Taylor Mitchell's reacted.
Yes,
so
they are not
Blake.
lasting. They're having to do they're having to do a quick splash and dash at the last 2 or 3 laps, which has happened in the last couple of
Dane's
laps.
in, Scott's in, Jared's in, Dan's in, Jonathan Turner is in. I love this. I love seeing cars. Nick dived in as well. I love seeing this, especially groups of cars like that diving in for the pit lane, because the person who's going to benefit the most from it is usually the person towards the back, because everyone's having to try and brake not to hit the car in front of them before they hit the yellow line.
Oh, Jerry's having a smoke in this photo.
Yeah.
Sorry. You're in your middle of your thing, and I'm
he's doing like a...
He's giving us the fingers. How dare he?
Yes.
I'll be talking to him later about that.
Yeah. He's flipping us off. So let's see who's going to come out of here. So Dane was in first. Then Scotty. Yeah, so they're all coming back out in roughly the same order. Jared.
Nick was last.
Fallen in. Yeah.
Falling in. So he would have gained a little bit on that, I think.
So Peter Brown's on his way out. Steve Darren's on his way out.
There's Shane going around. Get it out, Sean. Get it out.
Yeah. Here's the battle coming out of pit lane.
Here comes out these really ugly cars that I mentioned. 2 ugly cars. Yeah. I'm sorry, you're going to have to get used to my streaming, whereas the racing's second to...
I reckon Steve was struggling for grip there.
Is that Steve? I can't tell.
Shut up. Thomas McCall exiting pit lane. Mark Price sitting there doing his thing. Where is Blake? Where's Blakey?
He's got to go one more lap. He's got to do one more lap, and then he's in. If he comes in this lap, it's still 50-50. He'll be in, eh?
No, he has some.
Yeah, so 22.5 minutes, but he needs to be on. Yeah, he's on the limit. But maybe he's already got gas still in. Oh, it doesn't really matter because it fills you up, eh?
Yeah. But it's still a time thing, so we'll have a look and see whether that going that extra little bit longer does anything for the pit times, which I can bring up.
It's 23, so he's got half a minute by the time the gas goes in. So he still hasn't put gas in yet.
So we can see that
gas goes in at the 23-minute mark. Yeah. Oh, look at Shane White stop. He didn't full right up. Well, no, there's some 11. Peter only did a 12-second stop.
Bill Kilger, he was in super early. So Blake, 16.2 seconds.
Yep, that's obviously full fuel.
Yep.
Which is, well, between the top two anyway.
But then you look at the likes of, so Jared Eccleston, he's probably taken tyres. Ross Watson and Mark Price, they've taken tyres. Lindbrick's taken tyres. 24 seconds. That's definitely, they've taken at least 2, if not all 4.
There's something we haven't talked about, which we definitely need to bring up. Are you waiting for this? You ready?
You go.
How many incident points are you allowed in this race? Incident points are we allowed in this race?
Should be 20.
It is 20, correct. Would you like to know what people are on?
Well, I would like to know. I'm sure the people at home would like to know.
If they just block their ears, they won't hear it. Anyway, Mike Limerick, 19.
Ooh.
Bruce Tannock, 19.
Ooh.
Thomas McCall, 14.
Okay,
Safety car, 10. Ride-off Jenkins, 10. Bill's out, I believe, but Shane White, 11.
Yeah, Bill's gone.
And Ross Watson, 13. So there's 2 right on the bubble, and Thomas not far off. Just to keep you know there, halfway through the race.
So you said Mark Price, did you? 19?
I did not. No.
Mike Limbrick.
Mark Price is Mike Limbrick, 19.
And Bruce Tannock.
Yeah, so we could see some black flags very shortly.
Yeah, so for people at home not familiar with the iRacing delivery of penalty points, that can be... I'm going to have a look. Sorry, pause on that for a second.
That's right.
That Ferrari, is it missing a whole front bar?
It looks like it's a bit shorter than usual.
Yeah. It's like it's trying to pretend to be a Mercedes.
Him teaching us, giving us the fingers. Oh, so you get... Whole thing looks punched in, eh?
Yeah. That's what you get for flipping them off.
No,
Get a short nose.
of course it does. Yeah, gold wheels.
Yeah, so anyway, going back to the iRacing penalty numbers, so every time you go outside the bounds of what they consider the track limit, so that's more than 2 wheels over any of the white lines, halfway of the car, you'll get a penalty point for doing that. If you lose control of the car and you result in a half spin or a full spin, it will be 2 points deducted from your name. Contact with another car can be anything from 2 points to 4 points, but most commonly 4. So you can sort of paint the picture when you're dealing with 20 points, it's only 5 times that you have to bump into or be bumped by another car with some force before you'll be going for a wee tour through the pit lane. Some of the fast guys who aren't too worried about the extra bonus point will use the off-track points as a way to help get us a faster lap. Mindful that they can't obviously exceed too many of those before getting close to flirting with going through and seeing an unhappy stop-start man as he eyeballs you as you roll through pit lane for your naughtiness.
So we did talk about the high points. If we actually look at the low points, we got Jonathan Turner on 0. We got Douglas Bickley on 0.
Yeah, I'm still trying to find Jonathan Turner. There he is, Jonathan Turner in the 154.
And
Stein,
yeah, congratulations to him, because the one and only Dane is on 1.
Oh,
so that's good for
at the moment, Jonathan Turner is leading the bonus point, sitting there in 8th spot.
And 8th too, so that's very impressive. My hat goes off to someone who tries to drive that cleanly. I wish I could. I can't. I won't, and I shan't.
Obviously quite tricky conditions here this evening with the fog, and I think the track temperature being just a little bit high as well, so causing a little bit of the cars to be outsettled. And here he is, Bruce Tannock, serving his drive-through pit lane penalty as we speak. So he was sitting in 11th spot.
Yep, sorry mate.
He's down to 12th.
Mike Limerick also has a black flag.
Oh, okay.
For penalties points as well.
There we go. So now that they've served that, they'll have another 20 in the bank to be able to spend. So Bruce dropped down from 11th spot there to 15. But here's someone who's not getting any pit lane drive-through at the moment, and that's Connor Nixon, the Racecraft 168 entry.
And he'll be happy with this because he had a bit of an incident in the Tuesday race where he got a drive-through.
Yes.
He apologised. He knew it was his fault. Trying to explain it a little bit, like, hey mate, you know. He took the penalty and moved on and carried on racing, and that's what we want to see. Hey, at the end of the day, you can't always be perfect, and he's a great ambassador for sim racing, is Connor, because he's super fast and a bit of a gentleman.
Yep. So this is closest battle on track at the moment, and that's Dan Turner in the Simability number 9 Team West Racing BMW, chasing down Scott McKenzie.
Well, actually, in practice was very quick, so up in 5th place is definitely where he should be.
Ran right over there.
Are people running the BMWs because of the 12-hour coming up, or what do you think? Is there more? Have you got the cars on your graphics? Who's in what car? The Mercs versus the Beamers versus the Ferraris? Here we go, and I am correct. I thought I saw a lot of BMWs out there tonight.
Yeah. So if you look at it, so I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people currently out there in the field at the moment running cars respective of the car that they'll be driving this weekend in the 12-hour Bathurst.
No one knows what that is about. There'll be a few streams going up. Everyone's got their own little teams, and it's obviously a 12-hour race. Bathurst starts about 11 o'clock on Saturday. It's one split, which I'll be in, and Doug will be also in that same split.
Yep, doing that one as well. So looking forward to that and having my first proper competition drive since breaking my ribs just over 8 weeks ago.
I hear a little girl beat you up. That's how you break your ribs. Was that correct?
Mm-hmm.
You're having a drink.
Yeah, her name was Sharon. She had 2 wheels, full suspension, and it didn't get me round the right-hand corner.
Yeah, fair enough. Anyway, I got a cat that was on me. Got me.
Got you.
Yeah. Anyway, so I thought I did see a lot of BMWs out there. Hence have it.
Yeah. It could be could be a follow-on trend from this gentleman here, who
follow the leader, you reckon?
Who back-to-backed, taking P1 in the series by very carefully and with a lot of racecraft working out what he needed to do to get his fuel to last the longest.
No.
Here's something interesting. Peter Vanderberg in the pit lane. Shane White in the pit lane.
Shane came in early though, didn't he? I believe, like you said, lap 5 or 6. So
I think it was.
Due to damage or contact, get the car fixed up. Whatever the reason, if he was always planning to do 2 stops, it was always good to get it in. So he's believed he can fill it up.
Oh, that shows his most current one. Yeah.
He'll get it home.
Interesting.
I mean, to his time, that wasn't 16 seconds. I thought he might be a full 15,
he was certainly in and out quicker than Peter Vanderberg. Peter Vanderberg having a 15-second stop versus Shane at a 9.6.
Oh, well, Shane must think he knows what gas to put in there. Obviously, he didn't take tyres. That's something we haven't talked about is tyres. You can take tyres, but I think the time just doesn't quite allow to be competitive. Am I correct?
Correct, yeah. So this has obviously been a bit of a conversation for this season with fuel and tyres and margins and errors, and looking like next season we'll have a bit of a refresh and back to something that the drivers are more familiar with. Open setups, open fuel, but probably some compulsory pit stops, maybe 1 or 2, so there'll be a force of having to take tyres like you replicate in the V8. So it'll be that juggling game on what fuel number do you start with, because you'll obviously be able to take some fuel while you're forced to do the tyres anyway. So yeah, you'd be silly to start with more than what you need.
And I didn't have another admin tonight, so hey, we will get together. We'll try and figure out a strategy that works for next season and give it a blast. But it's hey, we try these things, and it's definitely brought for some exciting racing. I tell you, like I've enjoyed commentating on it because you just don't know what's going to happen next.
Yep, certainly has, as we see Nick Mitchell now coming in for his second stop as well. So obviously just calculating that he's probably going to be running a little bit shy.
Yeah. I want to point out he was dead last after hitting the wall off the start, trying to be a He-Man.
Yep.
So at the end of the race, I'm actually looking forward to see where he ends up and see how far back he comes. So
correct.
Two stopper as well. So to be honest, I don't think there's only one
there
car
he is,
that's
he's
actually
away.
one car that's in the window.
6.35 seconds.
Oh yeah. So
He just walked through the wall on his way out.
To be honest, I think Blake's the only one who was in the window. Stopping there, late.
I
lap 11.
I reckon.
That shows you lap 11.
Yeah, looking at a few there around lap 10, like Connor and Taylor, but I reckon they're pushing too much, so they're probably going to suffer
and I
a wee
believe
bit at the other end.
Blake's still on the borderline. We could see him run out tonight before the finish line.
Correct. Yeah, he said he's prepared to gamble it. He has said he'll put it all on the line.
Although he is actually my teammate for the 12 hour, a little bit inside me wants him to fall short tonight.
I know what you're saying. So yeah,
and nothing against Blake in general. You know, you win some, you lose some. Happens to everyone. And hence knowing that I've run out of gas on the last corner of a race is, quite gutting.
Hey, well, exactly. Yeah,
more than once actually.
Referring back to a very iconic race of yours at Phillip Island, where you were battling the one and only Shane Van Gisbergen quite hard. And yeah,
I had him up for a lap, mate. Let's be honest. I had him up for a lap. Yeah, it was a good race. It was. I enjoyed it. It was fun. It's one to look back on and laugh about now.
Yeah. Just have a look at those positional changes there. So our top three, not obviously changed at all. Dane up 4 spots. You said that at the beginning. Dane was a bit of a champion at trying to stay clean and moving his way through the field, and he's done that remarkably well.
Yeah, and I think he doesn't even know how quick he is, which is well, it's a great trait to have. Whereas I like to rub it in when I'm quite fast, so I make up for him when I know I'm on a track. So no, but well done, Dane.
Yep. So here we go.
What car?
Dane's in the Merc.
Yeah. Ugly car, Dane. Ugly car.
But a great livery, great sponsor.
Yeah,
great supporter.
Awesome sponsor. Maybe the ugly looking PSR car that you set me up with. Sorry, I'm joking, guys. I'm joking.
Like that one,
that one. So you put it up so just to rub it in. It's a good livery, mate.
Yeah.
So that's something we haven't seen tonight. Marty Mitchell hasn't been on track. I think he helped design that scheme. You got the Jump Flex car there.
Yeah.
If it was America, it would be looking ugly, but it's not.
So yeah, as we just have a quick look down through the order, as we're at the 37th minute. So that was P1, 2, and 3, all BMWs. You got Dane there, not too far behind in the Merc, followed by another Merc. Mackenzie.
That's a Wayne Bloor. He comes.
Oh, hang on. Here we go. If we do it, you can almost hear it saying its name.
Oh, I want my sound turned down a little bit. There you go. While you're going through it, I always have to thank iRacing, the platform, while we're here.
Yep.
Without them, we wouldn't have this awesome, almost real life simulation. So thank you very much.
It is seriously cool. I love it. It's a great way to feel as connected to the real world racing as what any of us probably will ever get to do, and being able to bash around in these cars that are, worth half an odd $1 million here and there, depending on what it might be. And the fact that you can go from that car to another car through to a totally different car and visit 3 different parts of the world all in a space of a few hours is pretty damn amazing.
And to be honest, some racers actually watched the real Bathurst 12 hour that happened, and this is me, and I was looking at their gear changes and relating it to what we do in the car.
Correct.
Timing, braking.
Yep.
So it's all relatable. It's definitely relatable
Yes.
as you see it pass by in the MRX car there. So
Yes.
when people say it's just a game, well, yeah, it is, but you can actually transfer watching real life into your own skills here. And take pointers out of where braking points and everything that people are using. Yeah, track states change, and obviously tyre grip and all that. And that's what I love about iRacing. It is as close as you can get without spending the big bucks. And although people spend 15, 20 grand quite easily on Sims, so yeah. Anyway, I enjoy it.
There might be wives listening. There might be wives listening. Don't say
well, they don't know this. I've sort of just ruined about 3 marriages, I think.
Probably. Either that or someone's looking at their left hand, second finger in from the left and going, might be able to squeeze a bigger diamond on there, son. No, but it is very, very cool. I think the big thing to highlight was obviously where this group started, during the stages of lockdown. COVID had hit the world, and a lot of real world racing drivers turned to sim-based driving, and a lot of their team owners were going out and helping their drivers getting set up with simulators to have at home or at the office where they were isolating, so that they could continue their racecraft practice and staying race fit in the machine and practicing the tracks that they would be coming up to racing in the real life world, because they were probably going to miss out on getting some valuable seat time at those locations. So for anyone to turn around and say, it's only just a computer game, you have to have a good hard second thought about that. It is a simulator. It's been built as a simulation of the real world, real experiences. We had the young Brendan Leach join us last season, who's a factory driver for Lamborghini, and he had some awesome things to say about it, didn't he?
He said the car looked exactly the same inside in the Lamborghini. Exactly what he's looking at is what's in his car. And I'd like to point out another note. I believe the young Scott McLaughlin, and I don't know if it's 10 years or 2010s, that's when he had iRacing. Mm-hmm. So before the lockdown. So he was in at least 10 years before lockdown.
Yeah.
Already on iRacing.
Yes.
And that just shows
that's how
you
long it's been around as well.
Has that been a little part to play in his talent? Because when that series came out, where all the drivers jumped in, he was far one of the better ones, as Gizzy is, obviously, because Gizzy jumps in here, and Kostecki and a few others, and then some of the faster drivers who'd never done iRacing, they were out in the weeds. They didn't know what to do. The Will Davisons and stuff like that, because couldn't get their head around it. So, although it is a simulation, there is obviously that real world experience where you can't quite change over if you're stuck in your ways. But I believe it's definitely helped Scott McLaughlin and Gizzy and the big Verstappen himself.
Yep.
He loves it's a hobby, and it keeps him. He actually says it keeps him in tune for racing. That was just the other day. I saw that in an article. So I don't know what else, if he does iRacing or whatever else, but I know he definitely loves his sim racing.
Just wanted to quickly sit on board here with Blake and turn iRacing up for a minute so the people at home can hear it a bit better.
Oh.
He's pretty short on his gear changes.
Yeah. How much time's left?
Not a lot.
A
couple of minutes.
Thank you, because I just realised
what's actually happened in the last minute, a bit while you were having a chat there, was Connor Nixon came into the pit for a splash of gas. That was 5.8 seconds worth. Blake Grenhall has jumped Taylor Mitchell, who also went into the pits for a 5-second splash of gas. So Blake's on target now.
Is he in first? Has he passed?
No, he's sitting 17 seconds behind this man here, Connor Nixon, who's still in first.
He's pitted.
But yes, he did pit, and that's how much of a lead he had over Blake, who's been trying to stay on target with his fuel strategy.
Yes.
So Blake being the only driver out there on one stop. As we come up to the 44th minute of racing, Taylor Mitchell full steam ahead, following by 7 seconds to Blake. So I don't know whether or not he's going to have enough to bring it all the way back in against this man here. But the next few laps will tell the tale completely.
Blake just did a 2:03.2. That's a quick lap time.
Yep, and see the other side of it is as well, the racecraft we were talking about from the Bathurst 12 hour, they were all talking about how they can get the car to replicate those fast times that they would do if they were, going flat out. But by going flat out all the time means you have to lengthen your braking distance because you're carrying much more top speed, and then your exit speed can be compromised because you're trying to push the car harder out the other side. So by slowing the car down and running a little bit more steady, you're carrying that speed through the corners a lot more, resulting in the car's average lap time, even though the fuel burn is lower, and doing the same replicated time. So it's certainly an art, and it's one that Blake is honing in on doing at the moment, as we see quickly battle between Jonathan Turner and Scott McKenzie, and Nick Mitchell just getting by Dan Turner into 5th spot, back up 1 spot from where he started.
45 minutes is up, so I'm guessing wherever the leader is, he is checking flat when we find him.
So here he is here, and
crossing the finish line. Well, here you go. Race calf Connor Nixon, 168. Well done.
Connor Nixon, well done. That's a great drive, and he's been able to push on quite happily through the race and gain enough margin to hold on to doing it. Here is Blake rolling across the line with next to nothing sitting in the tank. Well done, Blake.
That is well done, Blake. Still saying that, bringing home the points.
Taylor Mitchell, hot rod kid, 3rd spot.
Yeah, well done, Taylor.
Take off the 420, Passionson Racing. That's my best impression of Wayne there.
Yeah, thanks. It was pretty good. Actually, well done. I was like, in my own head, I was like, what's he changed? I was like, oh, that's where I've heard it before.
There we go. Dan Turner rounded out 5th. Nick Mitchell, he managed to just lose that spot to Dan at the end. I'm actually going to have a look at that.
Yeah, he's definitely had a whoops. He has to have. He's cleared him by a mile. Yeah. Maybe he's got a run on him. He gave it up. See. Maybe there could have been contact where he thought it was a bit rough and gave it back to him.
Maybe.
He's a good dude like that, Nick. It's all about the win. It's all about racing fair, or maybe he thought, he's not on the points. I don't know.
Yep. Shane White finishing 7th, down 3 from where he started. Jonathan Turner took out P8. Scott McKenzie has managed to grab P9, and Peter Brown, welcome back, up 6 spots from where he started, bringing it home in 10th.
Yeah, not a bad race. It was quite clean. We didn't see too much contact, other than a few bits earlier on with the Mag Turbo car. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Steve stayed quite clean.
Certainly has.
Yeah.
Connor Nixon sitting down here. We'll drag him up quickly.
Drag him up, mate. Drag him up.
Here he is, the champion car 168, Connor Nixon.
That's some intro.
You like that, mate? He's been practicing. He's been practicing.
I have. I've been reading your name all day in the and seeing the bits and pieces of posts that you've been putting up on Facebook, and I was thinking if Connor comes along tonight, I think people will be feeling his wrath. I didn't make any public announcement about it, but that was just my feelings, and well done. You have absolutely stomped away to an amazing win here at Silverstone. How was your race?
Oh, good, man. It was really good. The start was really cool with Taylor there. Yeah, really good battle. It was good to see the battle. The battles were good, like fair and clean, but still aggressive and good fun. You know, it's good to see that. You know, Taylor's a great driver. It's good to see him doing well. And yeah, so thought I'd turn up tonight, have a shot. I thought, I'll jump in and have a bit of fun. And yeah, I'm gutted that I haven't done this championship the whole way through. I really think it would be a good fun, but yeah, just had some other commitments and
Yes. Yeah, no, we're aware of your other side hustle there, Connor. That's why whenever you have the opportunity to come along and race, it's always some good racing. And a good rebound for you from a bit of dramas from Bathurst on Tuesday in the V8s.
Yeah, definitely. Bathurst was not a good one for me in the books. Had one drive through, 45 second hold. The car was destroyed. The pace it had was remarkable. It was so good. Like, it was good down the straight. Up the top, it was just mega. The car was electric, and yeah, I was leading the championship. I was still like, I'm sure I could still come back and do well, but it was disappointing from the caliber for me. It's, you know, it just went out the bin, and yeah, then at the end I got killed and the engine blew up. So yeah, it was not good.
So what you're saying is that's car racing, folks.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. It was more of a Mark Scaife, you know, had a lot of pace, but you know, ended pretty quickly. Had a good battle there with Dion and Liam on the Tuesday, but you know, those boys were running 10 wing, and what happened was just Liam braked at a bit of a weird spot coming down Skyline and just clipped in the tightest bit. I think it was a bit of net code too, so it just he ended up going around, and that was it. So I got a drive through, which is, you know, fair enough. But running 10 wing is a very risky situation, and that's what they did. And like, well done to them for giving it a go. But they were just so slow up the top, and even down the straight, I was still, you know, doing really well. So yeah, it was not a fun thing to get a drive through, but it is what it is.
That's all good.
Sorry about that, mate. I've been quiet over here about that whole conversation.
Dished out by the one and only. Could you hear that chair scraping slowly along the floor?
We're all thick-skinned. We move on.
Yeah, that's it. Gillies is next, but yeah, it was a good night.
It's certainly it's a monumental thing though. The V8s, just how massive of a series it is, and you know that was replicated by having 45 odd cars on track, and certainly brings a lot of character to the racing for you faster guys at the fronts having to chip your way through probably more of an enduro style race, and I reckon it was good. It made for good viewing. It's certainly heartbreaking as a fellow driver when you see people having a bad run because you feel for them. But I wasn't racing, and I enjoyed watching the race.
Yeah, 100%. From a viewing perspective, it was so good. Like, to see Shane just dominate as he does. You know, I think from his caliber, man, it's unbelievable to watch his craft. Just his IQ and his driving style is remarkable. It really is.
And we're certainly lucky here at SuperCars NZ to have him come along and value having to spare up his time to come and race with us. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, definitely it is. But it was good to come along tonight and do well. And do well. But yeah, I'll just. Is it alright if I just shout out what's going on?
Sorry, you're breaking up, Connor.
Everybody, mate. Good shout out.
So driving with Vermilion for all my GT driving. Those boys have been absolute electric. That's the car there. yeah, a new team, new start, fresh start. Doing well with those guys, teaching me a lot of things about the GT3s. Joining a lot of leagues for the GT3s. So thanks to those guys, major sponsor of the car. You know, for me, personal sponsor, Racecraft Simulations. They've absolutely came to the tree, and yeah, just been awesome. Went to go and have a chat with them with my sponsorship yesterday. Went really well, and yeah, it's good to have a fresh start from leaving 1-9. So yeah, it's been good.
Awesome. And for any of our New Zealand listeners, I'll endeavour to put in some closed captions on what Connor just said there at post race.
Yeah, you want an asshole. They heard everything. They heard everything, mate.
We love it. We love our boys across the ditch. So thank you again, Connor,
good.
and you have a awesome evening. Go and open up that bottle of wine and champagne. Share yourself.
Oh, definitely, man. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
No worries.
See you, buddy. There we go, and that is the conclusion to round 8 of the All Ports Gaming SuperCars NZ GT3 Summer Series. Thank you very much to HF Group for your week's sponsorship. More than happy to give you guys a shout out in the future. Anyone else who wishes to jump on board with us for a weekly sponsorship, hit up my man Sean Makatap Namara. He'll point you in the right direction of where to deposit the dollars. And how is that new racing simulator, Sean?
Can't hear you. I'm just racing now.
No, very good. I'll leave that to you, Sean, and sign us off. And I'll catch you all next week.
Thanks, Doug. Big thanks to obviously All Port Gaming for what they bring to us, iRacing, and the one and only Douglas Bickley. A big thanks to you, mate. You run a good stream. I just come along for the laughs. I really enjoy it. The racing, the people crashing. Not too many crashes tonight, so I'm feeling a bit down, but I'll get over it. We will see you all on Tuesday for the next V8 round. Thank you very much, and see you then.